Top of the morning to you. Happy, successful Saturday. What's up, party people? Whether you're tuning in from the Zoom or the live video feed, we're going to be talking about the power and the magic of numbers. And what's the best way to guarantee your success? It's all about the numbers. It's the simplest tool. But if you can master your numbers, then you know your numbers. And if you know your numbers, you can grow your numbers. And there's a direct connection between the numbers that you do and the income that you make. And it literally guarantees your success. When I was first introduced to the power of numbers, I didn't really understand it. And I had to really get my head around the power of reps and sets. So think of it like this way. If any of you have ever gone to the gym, and do you remember the very first cardio class that you ever participated in? I remember. Maybe it was a aerobic instruction where you're doing a lot of high intensity movements and jumps. If you've ever done a cycling class, well, there's a point in that initial class where your lungs are burning and the acid is eating and tearing you up inside, the lactic acid, and you're just looking for some form of relief. And sometimes you slow down, sometimes you're not going as hard. Sometimes you just need to take a pause and kind of sit off to the side, and then come back into the class. But one of the things that you're not thinking about is exactly how many times am I raising each knee up to my chest? How many times am I doing, the jumping jacks or why am I forgetting this? When you jump up and you what are they called? You jump up like you're doing push-ups, but you're jumping up like burpees. Thank you. So like the number of burpees, but you're doing the activity, and then by the end of the class, you can look back and you say, man, I think we did 70, 80 burpees today. And you're proud of yourself and your body's a wreck. But you went through the numbers and then you do it again. You have the class again. And over time, what happens is that you start to strengthen your core. You start to get stronger with your cardio. And you're excited. You went from dreading the class to now getting excited for the class because you went through your reps and your sets. There was a really crazy course called Insanity that came out years ago. It's probably like 10 years ago or a little over 10 years ago. And Insanity was all high impact cardio. You just did it on the floor. And I'll never forget the first 3-4 days of Insanity. I was like, this is insane. Like, who wants to do this? But by the fourth week, I needed Insanity. I was excited. I was fired up to get up and get after it. And even though by that day 50, 52, my body was not right. Like, I knew that there were some injuries that I was going to have to recover from, but I refused to not do Insanity. I just kept, pushing through because I had to do it. And again, getting through the reps and the sets, my cardio on the other end of that was ridiculous. And my core and my abs were just ridiculous because of that particular regimen. And that's all about what? Running through the numbers, doing the reps and the sets. So think of it in terms of your day, when you start your day. And this is why I wake up every morning and I'm fired up and I'm excited. Because I live in Cleveland, okay? And there's about, I don't know, maybe 2 million people in the city, give or take. And so what I think about is, just from what I do every day, I literally talk to, I would say, face to face, like meeting people, 5, 10 people a day. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, but I'm just doing face to face. I call it hand to hand combat, where I'm just talking to people. Now, I then have my list, which most of you have seen it. So when I think about the live, and then I'm going through my actual like phone dump, right? And so I don't have time obviously to go through the whole thing. You see where that yellow piece of paper, that's my marker, that's where I'm at. So what I've done is I've gone through my list and I've highlighted specific names of people that have strong centers of influence, people that that could be strong runners in this. And those are the individuals out of the 670 names. Those are the individuals that I'm going to reach out to first. So I've highlighted approximately 50 or 60 names, give or take, and those are people I reach out to first. But I still have all of those other individuals that I got to get to. So I haven't even gotten through the highlighted names. I got to get through those, and then I got to get through the rest of the names on that page. Then I look at my social media. So on my Facebook, I have like 4,600 individuals that I'm connected with. On Instagram, I got about 23,000 that I'm connected with. And so you understand that as I'm going through the numbers, I have an unlimited supply of contacts just from those three areas. I haven't even gotten into LinkedIn, I haven't gotten into TikTok, none of that. So when you think about the numbers, ladies and gentlemen, and you know that my goal is to get to 1,000 people before the end of November. That's my target, is to hit 1,000. I want to talk to 1,000 people before the end of November. Starting conversations in the DM, making the phone calls, leaving voice notes. It's all about inviting people into the conversation, pre-qualifying them, and then getting them in front of the information. And I just do it over and over and over and over and over again. And when I was first introduced to the power of numbers, it was a brother named Jet. And Jet was he's from Compton, California. And he was talking about his first, he talks about your first 30 days. So here's what you have to understand. It doesn't matter how long you have been in our company. It only matters how long our company has been inside of you. And then you can do a 90-day or a 30-day or a 60-day whenever you want. Like, you can hit the reset button on your runs anytime, okay, at any point in time. So obviously, of course, everybody would love to have their first 90 days be the best 90 days of their career, but it doesn't always work that way. Sometimes, I was looking at my numbers from the first 90 days. I'm averaging one recruit a week. It's not great. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, I have to change the dynamics of where I'm putting my energies in terms of saying less to more people. I got to move through it faster. I got to go faster than that. But Jet really helped me to understand it, because he talked about talking to over 2,000 people in his first 30 days. And I'm listening to this, and that never came into my sphere of consciousness. I didn't even know that was something anyone could do. So he literally broke down what took place from talking to those 2,000 in the first 30 days, and what came from that, the actual number of people that he enrolled. And he gave us the specific number of people that he enrolled. And from those individuals that he enrolled, he birthed an organization of about 500,000 people. And so you got to understand, it's the first time I'm hearing this. I'll never forget, I was shoveling snow and I'm listening to this recording. And I immediately, when I got off the recording, I called one person that was just as crazy as I was. And I said, listen, you got to listen to this. This is going to blow your mind. So he listens to it, and he calls me back, and he's like, yeah, that blew my mind. And so we literally sat down and we created a strategy. And we said, all right, well, let's just focus on the numbers. And we started with 3 a day. That was our commitment. We were going to show 3 people a day, no matter what, every single day. So we did that, and we did it for 90 days. And from that, doing 3 a day, I think we put in, I want to say, and these numbers are not exact, but they're ballpark. I think we put in like 110 or 12 people, something like that. And then we said, well, let's do another 90 days. So, and this all took place within a 16 to 18 month period. So the next 90 days we did 5 a day. So we said no less than 5 a day every day. And then from that we put in about 420 people, 420, somewhere around there. And then the next 90-day run, we said we could do between 5 and 10. So you can't do less than 5. And, obviously the target, though, the stretch goal every day is 10 people a day to do 10 exposures. That means 5 people are seeing a presentation and we're going to get a decision. So that next 90-day run, we bumped it up to, it was like 625, about 625 people we put in. But here's the crazy part. By the fourth 90-day run that we did, so that's 3 months, 3 months, 3 months, it's 9 months, and then 12 months. So the fourth 90-day run, within that 16-month window, I personally committed I was going to do 10 a day, no matter what, just 10 a day. And from my personal commitment of 10 a day, and then everybody else could do between 5 and 10. And by now we had found our starting 5. So we had a team now. We had a team of starting 5. That means 5 people who are just as crazy and insane as you are. All right. It doesn't mean that we didn't enroll. Obviously, we put in hundreds of people, but out of those hundreds of people, you're only going to have, and you only need, by the way, you only need 3. But if you could get a starting 5, it's game over. It's game over. You only need 3 people who are as crazy as you. You got to understand this. You got to know the math on this and the way the numbers work within the structure. So we had 5 core people, all right? So that was a total of 6, myself included. But there were 5 other people in addition to me that were just as crazy as I was, that were committed to do between 5 and 10 a day. So what happened was, because that was my baseline, we ended up holding to that. So I did, over the next 90 days, I did personally over 900, I exposed over 900 people. Personally, that's what I did. Meaning I was getting in front of groups of people now. So that we were running groups. Obviously I wasn't doing one-on-ones. I was doing me in front of 10 people, me in front of 20 people. So, by the end of that period, we enrolled 1,000 people. Okay, we literally put in just between the 5 of us. All right. So, you're like, well, how does that happen? That math is crazy. Well, it's the compound impact, and this is why you have to be very clear every day when you start. However many hours a day you work in your business, you got to be clear on what your outcome is. And when you know you're talking to that many people, you never, ever think about any one person. See, I can always tell what level of intensity somebody is going out and sharing the opportunity. Because if they're talking to me about, oh, this one person is this and this one person is that, oh my gosh, they're going to be great. Like, I can't wait. Like, if they sign up, if they're talking excitedly about one person, I know that person's not showing a lot of people. I know they're not. Because if you have it in your head, if I know on Saturday, I'm going to talk to probably 20 to 30 people before my day is over, I'm not thinking about any one person. Like, I'm literally, like, it's so, I don't know if this is a good or a bad thing. When I'm talking to people, I'm just like, okay, I need to find out if you qualify. Like, I'm happy that you're doing well. I'm happy the kids are doing great. Blah blah blah. Listen, are you activating your dream? Are you getting after what it is that you really want? Do you even know what you really want? Do you have a passive income stream? Do you want one? Are you serious about that? Okay, fantastic. Let's get you further information, then we'll find out if you even qualify for what it is that I'm doing. I just want to get to the yes or the no. Tell me yes, tell me no, tell me quick, I gotta go. And when you put that with the potency of our products and what people are experiencing with the products and the impact of that, and then you start to really understand the compensation plan, and you're going to be getting paid every single week, and you're not even going to know where the money is coming from. That's just how it works when you're doing it the right way. So your numbers are your friend, and I'm challenging you to pick a number that's, you don't even know how you're going to do it. You have no idea. How are you going to do it? How am I going to get in front of 1,000 people the month of November? I have a very good idea, but I can't tell you exactly how everything is going to unfold, but I know what I'm doing every day. You understand? Like, I know the number of calls I'm making every day, and my focus is setting appointments, setting appointments, setting appointments. And understand, too, that means when I'm talking to you, it doesn't mean, okay, getting in front of 1,000 people. It doesn't mean 1,000 people are getting on the presentation. Some people are going to tell me, no, I'm not interested in what it is that you're offering. That counts as one of my 1,000 people. You understand that? So it doesn't mean that every single person is going to say, yes, I want to see the information. It just means I'm getting a decision from every single person. Okay? That's it. That's all I'm looking for. Do you want to come play? Meaning, do you want to come and look at the information or not? What you do with the information is up to you. I don't like that's on you. I've done my job. My job is to have that initial conversation, make point of contact, set the appointment, and or for them to tell me, no, I'm not interested in making more money, and I'm certainly not interested in having better health, no problem. But that counts for me as one of my 1,000. Got it? So when you go to the gym and you work out, do you literally, like, maybe some of you do, because I do see a couple people with notebooks in the gym. But when I'm doing reps, I'm not like counting the sum total over the last 12 months. I can't tell you how many bench presses I've done, how many pull-ups I've done. It's literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pull-ups and bench presses and squats and all of that, and et cetera, et cetera. Like, that's just the way it is, right? But I could just tell you, but the reps and the sets are my best friend. The numbers are my best friend, because I can't have the fitness that I have. I can't have the the level of cardio based on how many times, how many steps of the treadmill. I don't know, but you run, right? You run. Reps and sets. The reps and the sets are your friends. So whenever you're having a moment, whenever if you ever have moments where you're kind of like pausing, or and it's hard for me to even formulate my lips to say the words, but sometimes other people, they may have moments like where there's a little bit of anxiety. That's only because you're not doing enough numbers. That's it. Like, the numbers cure any and every obstacle that pops up in your business. And if you're in business, everybody's going to have obstacles. There's no one on planet Earth that's in business that doesn't have obstacles. But if you look at the most successful people in business, is that they go through the numbers. They go through the reps and the sets, day in and day out. Simple. Simple, simple, simple. And the reason I wrote those, and I have the exact numbers down for those of you that want to know the exact numbers. I have them actually in my phone. So I'll put them in the for the replay link on this. I'll put the numbers so you guys know exactly what the numbers were and how many blitzes that we did. But the 90-day blitz, whether it's 90 days, 30 days, 60 days, if you just have a period of focus and you're going after a certain number of exposures every day and you hold to that, what it does is it builds your confidence, it builds your posture, it builds your ability to communicate, it builds your ability to sort through faster, it builds your ability to identify who even qualifies for a conversation, and it's going to get you to that next crazy person. Your task right now is to find the next you. You got to find one person that's just as crazy as you are, that's going to show up day in and day out. They're not going to make excuses. They're going to go out here and make stuff happen. They're bringing a great attitude every day. They're always positive. They're always on 10 because they're a leader. And leadership happens, ladies and gentlemen, before your team shows up. Leadership happens before you start making $5,000, $10,000 a week. Leadership happens like right now in the trenches. And so what you're trying to find and identify is just one other person that's as nutty as you are. And when you find that crazy person that wants to run, man, it takes you from 10 to 20 because they're just as positive and focused and fired up as you are. And the next thing you know, you're going to attract another one. But for now, just find that one crazy person. And that's going to lead you to the next. But that's your first goal. The numbers will get you there. I guarantee it. The numbers will get you there. So know your numbers so you can grow your numbers. And if you master your numbers, your success is guaranteed. Happy, successful Saturdays. Go out here, make some powerful things happen. We have a regional happening today in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm going to, as soon as I get off this call, I'm going to reach out because I put a message up on social media, see if anybody bid on it. And hopefully I can get somebody to the second half of the day because the presentation starts at 10 a.m. and then the training is at 2 or 2:30. So you all have time to make some reach outs because it's only 9:30. See what you could do to get some people there. But until the day is done, let's keep making it do what it do. We'll see you guys on Motivate Monday. Have a great weekend. Let's go.